We got the Brooklyn Nets, Double A's team in the building, and we're gonna discuss about what they need to do to get that shit. Um,
Jesus. We need Jesus.
let's
I'm
start.
in.
Let's start. Let's start out with you, Manny. What do you think the Brooklyn Nets need to be
Talking.
successful this year?
Man, to be successful, they added a piece like Ben Simmons, which is kind of uh different to see because of the role he played, and then knowing that they have Kyrie. So to pick up another point guard, just kind of questions what Kyrie's role is going to look like this season. We know what last year kind of entailed and kind of the restrictions the league had and has, and that they probably still have with that. And you almost question, is he gonna be a key factor in this, in this Brooklyn team? They have KD, they have Patty Mills, they got uh, these guys that carry around a kind of a big name, and have a kind of a good resume in the game. So you almost, for me, my question is, what's Kyrie's role going to play into this? We know how lethal KD is, and
Yeah.
KD's healthy. So and with Ben Simmons there, I'd kind of like to see how that chemistry is going to build, but I really want to see what Kyrie's role is going to look like for the Nets this season.
Do you think Kyrie's definitely gonna be a bigger role than Ben Simmons in that case?
100%. We know what Kyrie's about.
Capable.
So I would love for whatever
Because
Mets kind of
and
there to kind
yeah,
of clear up. So it'll allow him to really produce for that team.
I feel you. My thing is like I really haven't seen Ben Simmons peak per se, and I feel like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say that he's the big reason why for them to be successful, but I do want to see Ben Simmons get a little kind of show out, man. I've never really seen. I mean, he has his little flashes here and there, but never seen the consistency and kind of had him as a full season be like, yo, that was dope. But for me, I do agree with you. I definitely will say Kyrie Irving is the big key factor for them to win a ring. We saw him do it with Cleveland, LeBron kind of being that scapegoat, hitting that three against the Warriors to kind of signify what he is in that role.
Right.
He's the Robin to LeBron's Batman. Can he do the same with KD? In that sense. And
Yeah.
you could tell in the last couple of games he kind of is feeling it. He's got his handles back. He's kind of doing what he wants to do. He looks like he's happy. And
Right.
I think that'll happily carry over to this season and give KD a little more help.
Let me tell you, man. The drama over the season, man, with Kyrie and KD, it drove me nuts. It drove me really nuts. But Kyrie is definitely the key to this team because number one, we already know he has the skills, the offensive skill set to be a monster on that court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the off the court issues is it's the distracting part. Last year was the vaccine. He didn't want to take the vaccine, or he had to take a day off of this, or
Crazy,
it was always something with Kyrie that was like, okay, what is going on? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If he is all in for like playing with the Nets, I'm pretty sure Ben Simmons is going to be okay. Ben Simmons doesn't have to do much. All he has to do is just play great defense, which he already is. He's a premier defender. He's a playmaker. He doesn't need to shoot the basketball. If Kyrie is all in mentally with this team, we are going to win the championship. But to me, it's very questionable because Kyrie is always something.
Can I ask you, because I don't know from the outside, I mean, I'm not a Nets fan. I got to ask you this because you obviously see Nets games more. How do you feel about Steve Nash as coach? Because I know that was kind of the big thing going into the season about KD wanting to leave, is he didn't really gel with Steve Nash as much. How do you feel about him as a Brooklyn Nets fan?
I have a couple of takes on that. Steve Nash, I don't like him as a coach. He runs that Phoenix Suns type offense that D'Antoni used to run, meaning like everybody, whoever gets the ball, ISO, make a play. You don't win the ball. You don't win the game like that. You need to play team basketball. And number two, we don't play any defense. Now, on the flip side, KD and Kyrie vouch for Steve Nash. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, the KD doesn't want Steve Nash on his team, like he wanted him out. But it's like, man, you guys vouch for this guy. You guys saying this is the guy that was going to take you to the promised land. Like, what's the problem? How come you're not backing him up? So they need to get on the same page. Nash, he really needs to change his philosophy and not be stubborn about his philosophy, as far as playing defense, moving the ball around. If we move the ball around and play good defense, man, this team should win. We got superstars on this team. Like, there's no reason for us to be struggling in the playoffs like we did the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, Steve Nash is definitely on the hot seat.
I really can't rely on Ben Simmons doing really much. I think Aaron hit on the head with Kyrie. I mean, he's the biggest piece. I think the second biggest piece behind him, we know KD's going to ball, so it's not really KD. It's the role player. It's the bench. It's Patty Mills. It's Joe Harris. It's Markieff Morris. It's all these guys that, like, when Ben Simmons is out, when Kyrie's hurt, when KD can't get his offense going, it's these guys that have to make the plays and these guys have to score. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like that's what hurt them, like, playoffs last year. It was really KD trying to create his own offense but couldn't, because all you had to do was D up KD because nobody else could score. Like, not anybody on the bench, not anybody. There was no offensive flow. So I think it's definitely that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm definitely excited to see what Ben Simmons is going to do this season, what Kyrie's going to do this season. And it's always fun to see KD in general. So I'm excited to see the Brooklyn Nets. I know AA is, and it's going to be a good season. Let's see how far they go and see what they're capable of. Y'all enjoy it. And it's the Fan Special.
Shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining. 1 second left. Durant hits a 3.